love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. 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 Don't be scared. Just look up. Back. I won't stop, I'ma fight until there's nothing left. It's so what? You're gonna be hurting bad, cause I've been to hell and back. You don't wanna make me mad, I stay strong. You will never see me crack. And if you get in my way, you're gonna feel the wrath. Gotta say it to my face while he's looking back. Mirror breaks after math, when I hate, I attack. I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm
Yo, Happy New Year, Grinders! We made it. 2024 is here. And later in the day for some of you, but yes, the Gaming Grindhouse has made it to 2024. And I know it is going to be a good year when our special guest has entered the Gaming Grindhouse. Shout out to Zuby Tech. How you doing, man? Happy New Year. This is definitely a great start of a new year, man. We finally got Zuby Tech in the Gaming Grindhouse. It is late over there, so I do not want to keep him from his sleep. But how you doing, Zuby? How's everything been going with you? Happy New Year, man.
Yeah, Happy New Year to you, Jezel, as well. Happy New Year to all the Grindhouse.
Yeah.
It's been good.
It's been busy. Have you been busy? Been doing a lot of stuff?
Yeah, busy. Yeah,
Oh,
New
man.
Year's is crazy.
Yeah, man. I know. We all go back now. I go back to work tomorrow. Everybody's like a little down. It's like the vacation's over. Ugh.
100%.
I know it's a down thing, but I was like, yo, what, man? But thank you. We're gonna go right into predictions because I'm sure Zuby has some great predictions for 2024. Shout out, but if you don't know Zuby Tech, man, he is awesome over on Twitter, man. He makes all infographics and has great insight to a lot of what's going on with the PlayStation, puts a lot of things together, and I use his infographics a lot, have great information in there, and I appreciate it, Zuby Tech. He does a great job, so go follow him on Twitter if you have not already. So shout out to all the grinders as they're coming on here, banging on the door. Michael Moran, Richard Farmer, Outside Gaming Night, BU, Kratos, what's up, man? Happy New Year. Leaky G, Bill, Curse Kane, Neil. I see a lot of new names here. Everybody for the new year. Hit that like button and subscribe to the Gaming Grindhouse because we're going to be rocking this year, man. This is a fireworks year. We are going to take this to the next level over here in the Gaming Grindhouse. Have a lot of things I'm excited that I can't announce. Oh, no. Phil Ness already started. 2024. Oh, my goodness. My goodness. But yeah, and before we get into any predictions, I know Frogs is coming on in here, but now I don't want to wait too long to get into prediction talk. But has there been any news, Zuby, that like struck you like over the break, over the holiday in December? Like, is there anything that kind of stuck out? Or anything that you like wanted?
No,
Nothing much.
not really. It was just about the China Hero project, which I think PlayStation did the executive over in China. He did like a video on the Bilibili, is like a Chinese video streaming, and he basically went over the year PlayStation had in China, and he basically spoke about the projects and how they're carrying on investing, and apparently there was over 100 applications to join the China Hero project, so that's quite insane.
Wow. Now let me ask you something. So I don't think has anything come out of the China Hero. Is Stellar Blade like one of the first games coming out of that China Hero project, or are they still waiting for games to be released out of that?
Yeah,
Soul
that'll be the
Side is
first one.
right? Yeah, that's another
Yeah,
one.
there's about 7 or 8 already confirmed, and I think Sony are in the process of getting even more. So they're really attacking that market, and plus, at the moment, it's like obviously because of the ban of consoles in previous years, it's just like an open market. So I think Sony's finding a lot of success there.
Yeah, and they said they're gonna have like tons of they're throwing a lot of money into it, and that was a big thing when China. I remember it was like about a few years ago when everybody was trying to get into China. It was actually near around what was it 2014, 2015, around there. Like, 'cause I remember Xbox was trying to get Xboxes there. Like, everybody was trying to. Once China opened up its doors, like everybody tried to get their consoles in there and establish themselves. And I know it's been a big kind of like a big open area for
You just made the list.
for the like a new whole market for them. So I think that's pretty great. I really can't wait to see some of these games. I know we've been seeing a lot of them that have come out. Like, actually,
You
Fist,
just made the list.
I was surprised Fist came out of that China Hero project, which that finally went to Xbox. I think Fist finally came out to Xbox, but man, Fist was one of them. I didn't realize that. But Lost Soul Side, that one looked
You just made the list.
But that should be coming out now, early 2024. It says. So need to see what's going on. Yo, shout out to Ron M with the 5 gifted members, man. Thank you so much. Starting off the new year with the gifted members, giving it to Brian East,
You just made the list.
Billy Akira, MZ Phantom, Chris Coleman got it. Oh man, Lionel Bludgeon rocking it. Use those emojis, man. Use those emojis. Well, that is definitely
You just
real
made the
interesting
list.
how they are really definitely pushing for that, and I just can't wait to see more games come out of it because it's more games, and it's interesting that it's not necessarily pushing for just the sales of like just selling consoles there, but more of getting the developers and getting kind of like their kind of perception of games and their exposure into releasing games onto the platforms, which I think is pretty interesting as well, rather than just trying to sell consoles to more people.
Yeah, 100%. It's like Sony's strategy right now, like going into India, China. So there's a lot of like creators there. I think you'll see different games from those creators. So I mean, yeah, more games the better, right?
Yeah, exactly, and more, and I think too, by having more different development styles, like we don't always get some of this copy and paste stuff all the time. Maybe have people put fresh takes on things, and getting that from whole other regions that may have just how you could see like what RPGs were, and when Western RPGs change, when their perspective of what an RPG might be. You get this now coming from China, from India. You get developers of different mindsets, trying to create different things, because we don't want to just have copy and paste of everything going on there, but just have their take on it. Quality splits, that's right. Hit those quality splits. There they are. That's the one everybody hits. Those quality splits. That's a good prediction, because it's all about quality. That was another thing that that's a big thing that they've been really emphasizing, even in their even in the leaks of the stuff like that. And I know you didn't cover too much of the leaks, and I didn't too much either, because a lot of it was things that we already know already, like not necessarily the game roadmap, but a lot of their strategy and where Sony wants to go and wants to, like, you know, to expand and emphasize on quality. We kind of like, you know, that was in there, you know, it wasn't too much of anything new. Like I saw that whole PlayStation Plus kind of initiative, where to put PlayStation Plus, where to grow it. They've been trying to do that.
Yeah, to be
since
honest,
the beginning.
just that's been writing on the wall, to be honest. Like
Mhm.
they're gonna put PlayStation Plus everywhere. Like that was gonna happen. I recently put a patent, I think, a few years ago as well, where they're gonna have a PC launcher. They're just gonna get into PC much more. Like at the end of the day, just you can't stay on one platform forever. Like the console market, you can see is not growing. What happens if the console market, you know, like just doesn't stay around anymore? So you got to be everywhere. I think.
Mhm.
Um, is for the brand, because at the end of the day, Sony's bread and butter is PlayStation, so they just want to make it more successful, more people playing their games. I think is slightly different from like Xbox's strategy, but is like similar, but is different in some
Yeah.
aspects.
I think with their strategy is a little different in the sense that they are keeping the console kind of the main
Yeah,
driver of everything, and then
main thing.
expanding from here.
Yeah,
But and the thing is that, and I've said this a couple of times, they both Microsoft and not very Sony to this extent, but like they used to do this. Like they used to put games on PC. Like Gears was on
exactly,
PC,
just
Halo was on
just
PC,
yeah,
games for
yeah,
Windows
yeah,
Live, and all this other stuff. Like
yeah, yeah,
they are always trying to grow, and I'm thinking another strategy that Sony's doing is with the movies and with the IP. I think that is
yeah.
another way for them to share their IP to kind of recruit
Mm,
people to their brand. Hey, check this out. You know, there's a game
mm,
behind this thing. I think they did a great job. One of the things that I did, I watched that Gran Turismo movie, and I think they did such a great job with that, like not making it too gamey, but making it
yeah,
like the game kind of influenced this. And I love the transitions that they did where it showed him how he was trying to think like he was in the game. I thought that was really creative to
yeah,
kind of tie it not in a cheesy way, but kind of in more in a you know, like what may be going on in his head since he played this track from memory in the
yeah.
game. He knows how to take these
Mm.
turns, and he sees maybe what like the game overlay in that. I thought that was such a tasteful way of making it. Hey, this is about a game, but not cheesy as hell. Like, you know,
Yeah, 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 yeah,
so like, and those
yeah.
are,
No,
are ways for them to do it. I think to try to recruit more people, like you said, the brand
mm,
elsewhere. And the PC
mm.
strategy
And
seems to be working, right? Because I saw those slides. Like it's selling, but it's not selling blockbusters, but it's selling enough.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I think just like is like I think they just want to be in that market.
Hmm.
That's what it's about now. I don't think we'll see like day and day anytime soon. Just like you said, PlayStation 5 is it's like their main priority. So I don't think they want to go away from that. But yeah, is what you said like all over your shows. Like it's about mindshare.
Hmm.
It's like putting your product out there, and if you don't every year,
Hello? Oh, it went out. Hello? That Discord. Zuby.
can you hear me?
Oh, now, yeah, yeah. There you go.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And, as I was saying, is about mindshare,
Hmm.
and like you said on your shows, plenty of times is crucial.
Yeah, and it all goes with respecting their IP and doing and Nintendo is no stranger to this because look what Nintendo has done with Mario. Like that movie,
Yeah,
that jumps that did even if you can't jump that franchise anymore, that movie just created another just reinvigoration to that, and I think it even influenced the design of Peach in the new game that's coming out. Like her now design is
yeah,
based off of the movie because that's where everybody's familiar. That's where all the marketing and all the toys and everything's coming from is from that movie that now feeds into hey, this Peach game that people will be like, oh, it's a Peach game, but like now it's from the movie. Like my daughter's going crazy for that. Like we watched the trailer for that. Like that's when you take appreciation in your IP and you're able to share it out. That holds value.
100%.
IP is valuable. That's why what they did to Halo, that Paramount Plus one, the first 15 minutes was great, and it just completely just devolved from there, and that didn't do Master Chief any favors. Like it didn't do Halo any favors. Like that could have think about what they could have done to that show to maybe even promote or stimulate people to go to pause to get people to go to the game, get some items, some characters or some skins or do something with the show to make people want to play the game, because that's like the first thing. And I know I'm not the only person, but like when you go and say you saw a movie and the movie's really good and it's based on a game, same thing with a book. Like it makes you want to go maybe check that book out or go check that game out if you've seen that. So that's just another strategy to try to get people to. But it all starts with managing that IP with quality. Same thing what goes The Last of Us. What that did for the game, right?
Yeah. It's well, basically it's proven already that it boosted game sales. So I mean, so I don't think Sony expected that, but it's like it's working all cylinders, that strategy. So is plus Sony's an entertainment company, so they can. I mean, they're making the next distributing the next Zelda movie. So.
Yeah, right. That's what that's gonna do. So I really think that them with those leaks, I think them going to doing that, moving to other platforms. Like I think that, but I don't think they're gonna do it in spite of what they're known for. And actually, that games as a service kind of pullback, I think, is evidence of that too. The fact that they realize that, hey, maybe that is too much to put out, and we've seen games not do so well, have those legs, and maybe we can't just flood. We got to focus on quality. So if we're gonna do gas games, we got to do them of quality, and we got to do less of them, and not just kind of throw them out there, and do them smart, because there's a lot of competition with that stuff, and everything's a service, season pass, and we've seen the fatigue in subscription gaming and that kind of stuff in 2023. So but do you think there's going to be any, like, from looking at that, do you feel like prediction wise in 2024, do you feel that there may be a kind of a earth shattering moment from Sony, or you think they're going to kind of remain just the course of what's going on, and or you think they're going to do some big flip around? Like you said that you don't think they're going to do day and date with like big first party games, maybe like multiplayer games they'll do it with, but you think there's going to be a big change from them, or do you think any three of them, the three companies, will have a big kind of like aha, big moment this year?
Probably Switch is probably the biggest moment of the year. The next Switch, I think that'll be launching this year 100%. So and in terms of Sony, no, I don't think they would go day and date or announce anything like that. I mean, like they could obviously, when PlayStation Plus comes to PC, they could obviously do day and date with like the PC side of it, to attract more users, maybe that way. I see that definitely happening. So
So I don't know. I think a lot of it. I really think, from what's seen from that stuff, I do think it's going to be more of a, I think things got out of hand. I think 2023, it was kind of chaotic with the whole Activision thing, definitely for Sony. I think a lot of the stuff kind of got out of hand. They just want to get those consoles out of there, get them out in the public, because they've been so hard to manufacture and to get them out there. And I just think they just kind of focused so much on getting those consoles out. That ABK deal, I'm sure, pulled a lot of resourcing, a lot of kind of strategy from them as to, what do we do? Because we did see that slide. I don't know if it was real or not, but I think, from hearing what Jim Ryan did say, it definitely rattled the boat over there. Like they definitely have to, they have to, like, right?
Yeah. You're totally right, Jez. I agree with you. Yeah, like obviously, if your main competitor buys 69 billion, yeah, your
Yeah,
company
that's
is
that's gonna make you like
that's
wake up,
just
like turn in your sleep and stuff like that. Like definitely, especially I
yeah,
feel like that definitely made them have to think about, whoa, well, what are we gonna do? Because again, it
yeah,
wasn't necessarily about the IP, but more so about the cut, about the mock, because they know what Call of
exactly.
Duty, what it did for them.
Mm,
Because remember, like at the when the three Xbox One and when they got that marketing coming over, same thing they did with Destiny. But when they got that marketing for Call of Duty, because Xbox had those map packs for the longest time, when
yep.
they shifted a lot of those kind of, they people say casual, but those people that just buy the console, play their NBAs and Call of Duties and Maddens, that market, that group
Mm,
moved to PlayStation because of the marketing and what they've done with Call of Duty. So they know what the power of Call of Duty is. Whether it holds
yeah,
that level of power anymore, I think that it definitely dwindled
exactly.
some. But it's
Hmm.
still a powerful game that will
Yeah,
move,
yeah,
turn heads. That if
yeah.
Microsoft was
Even
able
if
to,
you look at the most played games, what they just tweeted today,
yes, I
um,
saw that.
yeah, all of the regions is Call of Duty is in the top three. So
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that tells you everything. How what kind of game Call of Duty
Yeah, it's
is a
right here.
powerful. But
Let's see,
yeah,
Canada, Fortnite, Call of Duty, Grand Theft Auto. North America's Fortnite, Call of Duty, Grand Theft Auto. Let's see, Mexico, South. Let's see, Fortnite, Call of Duty, FIFA.
yeah,
Brazil's FIFA, Fortnite, Grand Theft Auto. Yeah, everybody loves that GTA, man. That's a. Oh wow, down south Argentina's Rocket League shows up down
mm,
there. They like their Rocket League. South Africa's Fortnite, FIFA, Call of Duty. Then here's all Europe. Let's see. It's Fortnite, FIFA, Call of Duty. Yep, Fortnite, FIFA, Call of Duty, GTA. Yeah, it's the same
it
games.
is. Yeah, yeah.
And that,
It's a massive IP.
oh my goodness. And that's, Fortnite
And
and
the thing is, just Jez, is
Diablo.
the, another thing with that is Call of Duty is mainly a console game. So it's not much of a PC game. More
Mm-hmm.
players play Warzone on PC than console, but the multiplayer is 100% a console game. And then obviously, as you can see, most of the Call of Duty players are on PlayStation, and that
Yep.
proves it.
There you go. And that's where yeah. Yeah, and and this is another case of like where they said last year about how we can't create a game. We could do a Call of Duty like game, but like it's not going
Mm.
to permeate the market as this. And that's the same thing goes for all these games. That's why this games as a service is such a challenging thing, is because
Yeah.
you got your service games. And to think about, if you're going to release a service game now with GTA 6 on the horizon early next year or whenever next year in 2025, you better not make anything. It's going to be hard to kind of keep up with that when that game just kind of because I think that game is gonna shake. So we're gonna see a fallout from that, like that GTA 6 launch. Whenever that
You know,
releases, we're gonna have a pivot.
just that's a brilliant point you just bring up there because that's so true as well. Like I think a lot of like casuals will come in, and obviously the opposite to that, the casuals obviously are not the hardcore market, and they don't stay with the ecosystem for a long time. So you will see that drop off where obviously it will have a positive impact on the console generation or Xbox and PlayStation,
Yes.
but you will see that drop off afterwards where it leaves a big hole.
Yeah, and that GTA 6, whenever they do whatever they do with it, that is going to be a pivotal point. And I think in 2024 we talk about in predictions, I think Sony has some sort of association with it. And I don't know, Zuby, if you know, or like if you think so too,
Yeah,
and if they kind of start
uh,
building their marketing with it to kind of either bundle it or forget about that. That bundle will be crazy. Custom console, or if they do to GTA 6 what they did previously to like Destiny, to to even a Hogwarts Legacy last year. That was heavily marketed by Sony. If they pull, because their marketing strategies are very they're very good. You could say Xbox has great Xbox has horrible marketing. Sony's marketing, they kind of convince you that this is the place to play this game. Like, they are really sinister in that way, where they really push that, hey, this is where this game is. So if they kind of pull that out with GTA 6, that it could be, oof, I don't know.
Yeah.
That would be
No,
rough. That would be
just
crazy.
I can only, like, even when I tweet about this stuff, I only tweet about what I hear, like, from my sources. Yeah, I've heard that is locked. Like, that marketing partnership is fully Sony's. Like, they're gonna market the console with it. I believe PS Pro is real as well. I've heard that's real, and that's gonna have a big marketing push with alongside the game. Yeah, so, and plus this is like well, last generation there was no Grand Theft Auto, so this is like it's going to be such a big leap in terms of the game as well. And obviously with the PS5 Pro, Sony's just going to say, like, this is the best place to play
Oof.
Grand Theft Auto, and there you go.
Man. You heard it
Yeah.
here, Grinders. Zuby's dropping the bars, man. Man, it may, you're right. Like, and now you made a good point too with the Pro. If that thing seems like it's real, like that Mr. Henderson, he was right about the portal, and now, hey man, with this, if this thing is this Pro is real, which we all think it is, man, having that thing, man, woo-wee. That is gonna be crazy. That is gonna be crazy if they saw a line up, because that game is gonna be a changer. That GTA 6, I know will be played everywhere, but man, oh man, that game is gonna change. And I know the PC is pissed off that they're not getting it yet at launch, but man, that is gonna be a console mover for everybody, pretty much.
Yeah, that's their MO. That's Rockstar's MO. Like, they've done that before. Like, why would they change their strategy now? Like, it's worked in the past for them. I'm sure it work now with PlayStation 5 Pro.
Yeah, because that and that was one thing too. Like, talking about predictions and things like that. The fact that you were saying even too about Switch, that's heavily rumored, and definitely Switch 2. It's overdue. Like, they need a Switch 2 coming out.
Yep.
And then Sony coming out with a Pro, and seeing where there were rumors that Microsoft's not going to release a console probably till 26, or that's going to be more powerful than a Pro, kind of repeating. And I thought the same thing, that they're going to repeat the same strategy that they did last gen, where the PlayStation 4 Pro came out, and then the One X came out a year after. 2 years. Will be 2 years after, be more powerful, kind of like an entry point into the next generation, or the PlayStation 6, or the next series, whatever they're going to call them, consoles. The thing is, though, is that I don't know how you can carry, and this is my strat. My thing is I think they're going to start, you're going to hear rumors of project names for Xbox, of like what their next console is going to be, because that's kind of like how they tried to pacify last gen, was Project Scarlet,
Yeah, I don't think there's a Xbox coming in a next gen Xbox coming in 2026. Like, that's not gonna happen. The earliest that will be is like the year after, which is 2027.
Oh, you think? Yes,
Like,
I think.
Yeah, if there's a next gen console, like a true next gen console, that won't be released in 2026. No way. It's like some of it's so obvious. Like, people don't do research. Like, just look at AMD's roadmap. That tells you where the technology is, what they're gonna release that year. Obviously, if they release like a Zen 5 chip, it'll be the year later, because obviously consoles, they're all AMD parts, PC parts now.
Yeah.
So the roadmap's there. Like, you don't need the Xbox roadmap. You can just see AMD's roadmap, and then you can see, like, this will release here, this will release here, and that's it. That tells you everything. But a next gen console from Xbox, no way. That's not gonna launch in 2026.
Yeah. Oh, maybe not. They could. Josh says Phil admitted that he isn't smart enough. That's why he wouldn't do the same thing this gen. I'm gonna tell you right now. Like, the thing is that I think that kind of, they need the software. I don't think they could do this again. They have done this twice already. Like, go to the George Bush quote, fool me once, shame on me, shame on you, shame on never shame me again. We're up to never shame me again. That's what we're up to right now with the third one. If they try to do this again, it's like, fool me once with the 1X. You have not done anything with that. Series X, fool me twice. Like, we're up to the third fool right now because I don't know how they can keep selling hardware at this power without having the software. And I said this on yesterday's thing about how, Sony with their PS5 showed what the capabilities of the system. And I said that Horizon Forbidden West, that DLC, the Burning Shores, was an incredible experience. And that boss fight was something that was, I was like, whoa, okay. I could see now, this is something that's absolutely incredible, the scale of this thing. And that's what you do, like when you have new hardware. So if they're going to put out a Pro and then have the games that we haven't heard about, right, and start dropping them, start showing Ben's game and this one, and they start talking about them this year and saying, oh, and they run like this on the Pro, they got the games to support the hardware. And that doesn't say the PS5 is not good, because the PS5 now is going to play these games as well. And now they're going to have this whole push where now they got the mass market appeal with the PlayStation 5 at a lower price point. The PlayStation 5 Pro will be at the higher price point. And I'm expecting that all your quality modes will be now, everything will kind of get shifted up. Hopefully.
Exactly. Like,
not universally, but yeah.
Yeah. No, 100%. Like, I mean, there's not much 8K TVs around, so it'll be 100% be the frame rates. I think Sony will target that, and then obviously the AI accelerator, if that's in PS5 Pro, which I think is highly likely. This year AMD is releasing in their CPUs is going to have an AI engine, so I mean, it's highly likely that you'll see a custom AI accelerator inside the PS5 Pro.
Yeah, that's
And
wild, man.
yeah,
What about the
you'll
push for
probably see
VR?
some.
What do you think about that? Do you think, because I see some people saying about, for the VR stuff. What did you think about that and some of their statements about that? Do you think that the Pro, like how they leveled the PS4 Pro with the VR, do you think that they'll do something similar with the PS5 Pro?
Yeah, I mean, you'll 100% see some sort of marketing with the PlayStation VR 2 and PlayStation 5 Pro. I think probably it will get a price cut this year, PlayStation VR 2. So I think it's below the expectation. Obviously, the price is quite high at the moment. I don't think. I think Sony saw a little bit more like.
Oh, it went out. Yeah. Oh, there you go. You're back now.
Yeah. Sorry, Jess.
No, good. Well, you're saying about with the VR2. You think there's gonna be a redesign of the VR2, or you think they're gonna drop the price of this one and come out with a new one?
No. They would drop the price. I think likely probably next few months we'll see a price. Yeah.
I was surprised they didn't have a sale on it during the holidays.
Yeah, I was shocked too. Like there was no marketing around it. There was no price cut, nothing.
I know.
So it's
because I see, because they had a whole bunch of games, especially in October. They dropped tons of games. I know you made a graph about how many VR games they dropped from like October to November, was like tons. And
I mean, just like there's like average of like 5 VR games every month now. Like even December had like 4 or 5 VR games.
Yeah.
Even this month coming, there's
Arizona
like
Sunshine.
four VR games coming in January. The next month's got like 5.
They got Bulletstorm coming out. Bulletstorm VR. That's coming out, I think February, January. Yeah.
Big game coming out. And even I think in March or February is Madison, which is a huge VR game gonna come.
Oh man, they're saying Phil's getting Zuby. Phil, leave him alone. Leave him alone, Phil. They're saying that Phil's trying to get you, Zuby. They're saying that Phil Spencer's trying to get you.
I think it's the mic.
Will the Phil Nest continue in 2024, Zuby? We're gonna get you. undisclosed area, so Phil can't find you. Will Phil Ness continue in 2024?
I believe so.
You can almost guarantee the Phil Ness will continue. Oh my goodness.
I mean, it's been a while since he's been in front of the camera, so I think it's due.
It's due. It's due. I know. Phil Ness will continue. He will be. Well, El Nini wants to know: will there be? I'm gonna rephrase El Nini's question here. Will there be a Phil taking it on the chin moment this year? I'm gonna give my answer. Yes. It will be a take it on the chin moment. There will be a face. Zuby, will there be a take it on the chin moment this year?
Yeah, I agree with you, Jess.
Okay,
Yes.
there will be. There we go. So Zuby has said here that there will be. I agree. There will be a taking it on the chin moment. So El Nini, there will be a take it on the chin, guaranteed. Guaranteed. Well, we got last year's man. He's been taking it on the chin. Oh, now he's still standing. He took it on the chin with Halo Infinite. Then the year that they had no games in 2022. Then he took it on the chin last year or Redfall. He's due. He has to get a taking on the chin. Oh man, Josh has things gonna be for Hellblade. Oh, I hope not. I hope he don't do a taking on the chin for Hellblade. Phil takes on the chin every year. That's right. Dude, he will. Now, Zuby, I want to ask you a question. Talking about predictions going into this year, we have a huge thing talking about like executives. What is going to happen with the new executive? I saw that. I think you posted a letter or something from the new executive that he was talking about. Or there was something. He addressed everybody at the end? Was that him or was it somebody else? If of a Sony, because Jim Ryan will be leaving in March, right? I think March he's be leaving.
Yeah, March 31st will be
And
leaving.
this guy's gonna take over. I forget his name.
Eric Lampel.
He's gonna take over Jim Ryan.
Yeah, I believe that will happen. I think he'll be the next CEO.
Okay. No, I thought it was who did you say it was?
Eric Lampel.
Oh, Eric. No, I thought it was the who was the other person that was gonna hold like a placeholder? Did they rename?
Oh, that's what, the Sony CEO?
The Sony CEO, yeah. I thought he was gonna take as a placeholder for Jim Ryan.
Yeah, Hiroki Totoki.
Yes, that's who it is. So he is taking over Jim Ryan, or you said somebody else is taking over from him?
Well, after April, if they haven't found one, he'll be like the temporary CEO.
Okay. Oh, he's the interim. Okay, yeah, he's the interim one there. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we got that's gonna happen in April because I think Jim Ryan's last day cooking is March 31st, and then he's gonna sell his he has to go sell his pans, and he has a new season of Hell's Kitchen coming up. That's exactly when Fox airs Hell's Kitchen. It's in April, so Jim Ryan has to go handle the blue and red kitchen.
Where's the
Perfect time.
sauce?
Yeah. Gordon Ramsay. Yeah, he has to get in there. He has to make sure he talks to Melissa.
It's raw, Melissa.
Yes, chef.
It's raw. Come
April
on.
is about when Hell's Kitchen starts, so he has to start that. So he's out of Sony. He's going to start his new season of Hell's Kitchen, and then we'll have a new executive there. So, we will see how, what that's going to be a big thing. Now, here comes another question, and prediction question, or what we're going to do. Do you think there will be a quote showcase or some sort of direct or some sort of show from Sony before Jim leaves or after Jim leaves?
I believe there's a state of play coming up soon, so
You think
that should be
January?
Yeah. It's currently scheduled for like early February, maybe late January. So there should be a state of play then. As for a PlayStation Showcase, I don't think that you'll see one before he leaves.
Gotcha. So there'll be some state of plays, which again, I don't mind any state of plays, but like I really think we need and you know what? I bet you're right. That state of play probably February-wise might be more Final Fantasy driven. Probably a Final Fantasy.
Probably most likely.
Rebirth. Yeah.
Yep.
Like that's the thing. Like, and I know that you posted a list because like the thing is, I heard a lot of what is Sony don't have. Sony needs to show its roadmap, show its things like that. But like we kind of know what's coming out for Sony in the next few months. Like we got the Hellblade, The Last of Us remastered Part 2, Helldivers 2. I mean not Hellblade, Helldivers 2, and we also have the Final Advance. So like there is a roadmap for the first quarter coming out of Sony for exclusive games, just not the ones from their first party studios, which we're waiting for those. Corey's game, Studio Ben's game, what Naughty Dog keeps talking about their new things that they're making, but I don't know if they're ready. They don't seem to be ready. Like there's a lot of studios. I remember, was it last year? You post like there's like how many studios that we don't know what their next projects are.
I mean, like, obviously,
70%.
yeah.
Like, right?
Apart from like Insomniac Games, Firewalk, Haven Studio, I think those projects are known. The rest is like unknown. So this again, like I think this year, like Sony should have spoken, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But I think now they're gonna have to like start showing us the games. Like this is like the second phase now of PS4's life cycle. Like you've only got what 3 years left of PS5
right.
generation. So I mean, it's now or never. Like if you're not going to talk about it now, when are you going to talk about it? So 100% PlayStation Showcase again.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I
much
think they should have said something near the end of the. I thought right after Spider-Man. I thought even the Game Awards would have been good. I know Corey, who said Claymore says about seeing Concord gameplay. That's another thing too. Like we haven't seen. We just saw title screens to Concord Fair Games. We saw that CGI. We haven't seen gameplay to those games either, and those supposed to be coming this year as well. So there should have been some kind of progress made. So, and again, this is another reason why I did that video on like the end of E3, and I know Sony pulled out of E3, but like this whole whenever we get the news, like the fact that we don't have a cadence, like expect, hey, in June we're gonna have a big news cycle. The fact that we just got to sit here and wonder when they're gonna do it, and that makes them definitely going, well, we'll show it when we want to show it, and we want to see it, and they like, hey, well, we don't want to show it, and it's a frustrating kind of tug and pull. Whereas I always felt like the E3 stage and stuff like that, they had to kind of put that show on.
your pods.
And now without that there, it's sort of like, same thing goes on Microsoft's like Developer Direct. Like, is that a thing that they're going to do? It sounds like they probably will, maybe a thing that they do every year where in January they do a Dev Direct of their next 3 or 4 games coming out, no release dates or maybe seasons. I could think they could do one with Hellblade, Hellblade Avowed, probably a couple of the smaller games that they have and do a Developer Direct. But at least they're trying to create some sort of cadence with their news cycle. Sony just seems to be all over the place. State of Plays. They did that weird name where we're going to call it a showcase. And I don't know why they show the showcase. Yeah. That threw off a lot of people. So they show it when it's ready, Lonely Snow. I know. Deal with it. I understand. We just got to deal with it. And again, like the thing is that it's easy to deal with it when there are games coming out that we could play. So it's not like we're just sitting here staring at the console saying there's nothing to play. No, there's games that are there and they look great too. So, that they do look good. They said, a 30-year anniversary for PlayStation. Do they do anything special for that? Think they do a special edition PlayStation? Do you think they do
Yeah, I'd like to think so. Like, or the 20th anniversary, they did like the PS1 design theme. I think this time they should do like a PS2 design theme one.
Oh yeah, dude! Didn't they give that to somebody as a gift? Who did they give that as a gift? It was a Herman. Jim got it. Jim Gordon Ramsay Ryan got the PlayStation, the gray version of it. Oh man, at his retirement party where they gave the cookies of him. They made his cookies.
Yep. Yeah,
I know, Josh. Last of Us in 2 weeks. I'll be playing it. $10 upgrade. I'm looking forward to it. Hell, I might even watch the show again. But But see, I love that they're adding new other areas and other things to that stuff, even though it's small. It's still, I want more story, you know, and I think that's great. Jim got one. That's right. Jim got a great PS5. Son of a bitch. He needs it for his kitchen. He needs it for the kitchen. But yeah, like I know a lot of people. There's a lot that brings up a good question for Neil. Neil is over here. He goes saying about Socom. Do we think across the board with Sony? Do you think that there's going to be any kind of revival of an IP announced in the year as a prediction? Do you think? Do you think they're gonna pull somebody out? Like,
I mean, I just don't see it. I've heard like the Bloodborne like remake,
oh my God, that
remaster, whatever you
Bloodborne.
want to call it.
People go crazy for that thing.
That's in development. That's what I heard. Like not last year, but the year before. But I haven't heard anything about it like last year. But apart from that, I don't think like what IP could they remake? I know there's Socom, God of War trilogy that's recently rumored.
No.
But personally, I don't see a remake.
You know, the thing is, and this is where I don't know why they have the opportunity. See, with first off, PlayStation Plus Classics, that needs a fixing for this. That whole like platinum tier of PlayStation Plus, that Classics library, that needs a fixing. They need to make sure that they get some classic games in there, and keep them coming, because I think it's a little limited right now, and they have not done their fair share. I think that is definitely not the best handling of that. They've been adding other value to that premium tier, but the Classics has been very gimped, I feel. And that could be a great opportunity to see what hits, because I think I saw some their engagement slide, right? And they were saying about how what games in their services were seeing engagement, I think it was, as an engagement slide. And I don't know if it was from the leak or whatever, but there was a couple of games in there that were like third party or streaming or something like that. There were other games from the Classics library. Like, it will be very interesting for them to kind of bring back something in the Classics library, see if it gets traction, and kind of use that as a traction, as a marker for bringing back a franchise or honing in on a franchise. Man, the amount of Ape Escapes that they've put in there, I'm like, where the hell is a new Ape Escape? Gee, you put every Ape Escape's mom, Ape Escape's dad, Ape Escape's brothers grabbing ass. They put everybody in this Ape Escape. I didn't even know they made that many friggin' Ape Escapes grabbing ass in those things. I'm like, is there a new game coming? Because you put every friggin' Ape Escape in there. Same thing goes with the other game. What the hell is it? What was that espionage game that made by Studio Bend? What is that one? What is it? Oh my goodness. The Grindhouse, help me out with this one. With the one that they just put in there, like the 3 versions of them from Studio Bend. Oh, what the hell is this? Synth. I'm seeing Synth right. God, it's not Synth right. It's
I've forgotten as well.
Jesus. Oh my goodness. All the Ape Escape. Siphon Filter. Thank you. I'm thinking Synth Riders. Not your mother. And Josh has Siphon Filter. They put every freaking Siphon Filter in there. I'm like, Studio Bend is working on Siphon Filter? A new one? Like, is that what you're doing?
They were rumored to be working on a stealth game, but I don't know about that.
Like, like we know, the Siphon Filter type thing, like you put them all in there. It would be it would be a great place to do that.
Twisted Metal, that I think that's in production. Twisted Metal.
Yep, and
that'll be the one.
Show was good, and they put the class, and that was a good move. Like, see, they put Twisted Metal in the service with the shows coming out. Like, that's a good kind of, marketing type thing. But I just feel that with that service, you could get so much data on or kind of lead people into a game that you're releasing, rather than just kind of just dropping a Siphon Filter 4 or 5 or something like that. You could use that service to kind of introduce people to the Siphon Filters and then release the game. Like, it's such a clever way of incorporating, rather than saying, hey, we're redoing this old franchise. People be like, who the hell's Siphon Filter? I have no clue. what Cyber Filter is. But the fact that they're able to use the service to kind of bring back that nostalgia, or bring back like, hey, this stuff, I feel like they have a great opportunity to bring back a lot of IP, whether they have somebody else work on it and not like bend or anything.
Yeah, I mean, one way they could like bring it back is through the cloud, obviously, with the PlayStation Plus Premium, and with going to PC, maybe they could launch a game like in the cloud, where it's obviously running much more powerful hardware and much more easier to like um have like a remastered game running much better in the cloud.
Yeah. And that's another thing, I'll take like the first one, have the classic, then do the remaster. Another thing too is they're saying porting over the PS3 games, make them play natively. That will be huge. I know that was been rumored since the beginning of the PlayStation 5 by Hip Hop Gamer, and he said that there was emulation there, that they could do native gaming of a PS3. I just think
maybe PS5 Pro has something to do with that. Who knows?
Oh man, Zoob. But then they separate their market though. Then they take their market and then they go like, well, now the Pro can only play PlayStation emulation. Like, I wouldn't think that they shouldn't do that, but I just think like it again. And this is where I know everybody's like, we're eating good, we got the games and all this stuff, but like it's always just it's like right there, and it's like, my goodness, like why? Just do it. Like, the game, like, just like, man, it's there. Like, you have the services, you have the way of getting to people to what this stuff is. Just I don't know. Maybe they don't. And again, the longer they wait, the less kind of maybe they'll just let it fade away. Like, you can't keep waiting and waiting. Going, oh, now the PS3 games are there. Like this. Come on, let's go. Like, you know what I mean? You introduced this service. Maybe this June, when they increased the price of the service, so
yeah, that was in my opinion,
not too hot
that
of
was
them to
like,
do that.
yeah, that was a wrong move in my opinion. Like, that by that much, Jez, as well, it's like over 30% increase. Like, unless you don't give something like an extra game, maybe PSVR 2 games come
That's what I
this
thought,
year.
yeah.
Like add PSVR 2 games into the mix, like drive growth for the VR platform. So I think you're gonna have to do like a fourth game or fifth game at least.
Yeah, this month's pretty good. Like, they did pretty good with this month. I'm interested. I played the West game, Killing West, whatever all that game is. That I played that at PAX East. It was definitely choppy when I played it. But again, that was at a show, show floor. I was playing on PC then. It was all right. It has like a God of War type camera. Like, it's interesting. Try it out. But Plague Tale, that's been in the services for a while. I've been playing that on I actually had that. I tried it with Game Pass, but then I also I've been playing that game, so I have that game there. But I tried it first with Game Pass on there, so it's good that's coming, because I like the first Plague's Tale, and the second one definitely, it is interesting. The second one, I do think though that they made her, she was definitely they definitely gave her more combat moves in this one, where she's like knocking people out. And this Evil West, thank you. That's the one. I knew it was somebody West, but definitely I tried out. But yeah, this month is better. Like, I thought December wasn't too hot, but like, ever since they increased the price, like the things have been there. I still think the year discount is a big factor in that they kept. Even though the price went up, the fact that the year is there and it's less than the per month payment, because that is something that the other service, Xbox service, does not have a year discount. So like, even though they increased it, it's still, they have that year discount, which is good. But again, I think they need to up the ante on that premium, the platinum one, whatever the hell they have, that high tier one. I think the extra is definitely really good if you want that kind of Game Pass type games, that kind of feel of getting a whole bunch of games that you could try out and play. They did add streaming to the top tier, but again, it works all right, but I don't know. It's a good way to try out
Yeah,
games, but I'm not if I'm at my console, like I'll try out a game in it, but I'm not gonna play a whole game streaming it.
yeah. I think that's like, I think even if you're on console, like that's not going to be the way you play. It's mainly for like smart TVs, dongles, a
Do
mobile
you think
phone.
that's another prediction, like a thing for this year? Like you think that Portal is gonna get the Switch on for
Yeah, yeah.
to stream?
Like I think when it was first announced, I said like that's coming to streaming. So it's I think they're just like making sure it works properly on the portal, and then it should be announced this year. Yeah,
All right, Zuby, you heard Zuby. Zuby says he thinks that I think, and also the fact that Sony's making it count as a console. I definitely think that that is definitely a
yeah,
reason why that they will turn on. But yeah, I like the Portal. I like what it does. Again, I think it's great around the house. It's still a little risky for me when I go outside of my home. Like it's like cross my fingers, let's see if it works type thing.
yeah,
And but the screen looks so great that when you're playing it at home on your Wi-Fi, it looks like
yeah,
the screen looks incredible. But when you play on your mobile hotspot, something like that, you definitely see the resolution goes down in favor of frame rate, obviously. But
yeah,
knowing the potential of that screen in Wi-Fi, it's great. Like around the house, man, you wouldn't even know that thing.
yeah,
So like I really think that and again, I said it's the best handheld because it's a controller with a screen rather than being a screen with controller strapped onto it. And that's why it is the best ergonomics of any handheld device. So they've done right there. It'll be awesome if it folded though. Like that'd be cool
yeah,
if that
yeah,
thing folded. But yeah, I think that they're gonna have I think that I think with the change of the god, with Jim Ryan going to Hell's Kitchen, and I think that with Sony having all those PlayStations out there in the wild, and the fact that they're still able to move consoles the way they're moving them, to sell games, most importantly, the way they're selling games, because Spider-Man is done incredible, and the fact
yeah,
that they still have exclusive games that are built for the console and built for exclusively for the console. I do think that they're going in this year very strong, and having a pro is going to be even crazier because if they could really leverage some new games with that pro and show some even better benefits to VR with it, it's going to be an easy sell, like on the sense of it,
yeah,
the sense that it is, like and then the value of the trade-ins of the PlayStation 5 are like $330. I was like $330 at GameStop to trade in PS5. You trade one
wow,
in and you get a Pro, and then you start
yeah,
slowly doing that. It's fine. Hey, Froggy T White, happy New Year, man. But yeah, like Happy New Year. Who else? Happy New Year. It was Ghost New Orleans, man. So everybody keeps. I see a lot of Socoms. Like everybody wants that Socom, man. Oh, I just think I can't see why not. Like, why wouldn't they? Or Resistance, but Insomniac again. It's like, oh, and that's the other thing. Sucker Punch. We haven't heard from them. We know, right? They might be working Ghost of Tsushima too.
yeah. I think it's pretty much confirmed.
Pretty much confirmed.
Ghost 2 is coming. I think Sucker Punch, Ben Studio, they will announce their games this year. Like those are the two definitely games that you will see get announced. Maybe 2025 release, or 2026 maybe.
Yeah, I won't go. That game was so good. Mm-mm. Yes,
Yeah,
and I did finish
uh,
Iki Island. Who's gonna ask that? I don't know. One of you grinders is gonna ask me that. Yes, I finished Iki Island, but that game. Oh my god, that game was great. Iki Island 2. That
perfection.
was. It's incredible how they took those elements of what they've done in their previous games and put it in there. Goshima, man, that
Yeah,
was so good.
they went from Infamous to that. Like, is such a big leap.
Mass Produce says SOCOM is coming. Trust me. Oh man, we have insiders all over the place. Dude, like they listen. The SOCOM from who? Like you think it's who? That was Zipper Entertainment. They're gone, right? Who else?
Yeah,
Where did that dissolve
they're
to?
gone. Yeah, it's I think they just in I think Wushu Studio, Lucid Games. Some of them are there.
Uh,
Yeah,
Lucid
but
Games
I
left. They
don't.
got purchased by somebody, didn't they?
Tencent.
Tencent got them. Yeah, because I saw that they
Yeah.
wished everybody Happy New Year. I'm like, oh yeah, Tencent owns you. Yeah, Happy New Year to them because they. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I think a remastered SOCOM, like just remake that other game of SOCOM. Like, I really think that. I do think. I think Sony. I don't think it will hurt them to have one of their games be a military online shooter. And SOCOM definitely did something different that not a lot of games are doing. They could even pull from some of the PUBG elements in the sense of battle royales and stuff like that and incorporate that into SOCOM. They could really
Right.
do something with it. And you know, my thing is here is that why does everything need to be mass, like everything needs to be like, well, it has to work
So true.
everywhere. Like
Mm,
it was the same thing
mm,
that the frustration I felt with the PlayStation VR 2. Same thing with the Portal. I'm like,
mm,
this is too much money for the VR 2. This has to be for
mm,
everybody. And it's like, no, it doesn't.
mm.
No,
Yeah.
it doesn't. Let it be for who
Mm,
it's for, and then you wind like it day one. This thing does not have to be massively adopted at like a $200 price if that's not the cost of the tech that it is. So like you
mm,
can't say $600. Oh, that's not mass market. Not a lot of people are gonna buy it. And it's like there needs to be some sort of level ground, dude. You cannot just take such a hit on something. Like, and the same thing goes for these games. Like, why can't you just build a very strong community of PlayStation gamers playing a multiplayer game, and then you want to put it on PC to grow the audience later on? But like, what's wrong with just kind of getting it kickstarted? You know?
No, no, you're totally right. Like if you look at the PlayStation 2 generation, like there's the amount of games that console had, like, and the thing is, it had different types of games as well that, like, it resonated with different people.
Right?
I think PS2 done that really well. Like, and then like there was iToy as well.
Oh
Obviously the
yeah, the
DVD
iToy.
player.
And the
Yeah,
Book of Magic was
yeah,
it the book? What was
yeah, book, yeah,
the book
Book of Magic. Yeah,
yeah, that book thing. But yeah, like that's the thing.
yeah.
Like why I just feel that
No, you're totally right.
there's like
I
this
totally agree.
pressure, this social
Mm,
pressure that a game has to come out and be massively adopted in order to be accessible
mm,
immediately and not give it a chance to build its core. Because if you look at what Fortnite was. Fortnite didn't it was an add-on to a game that was a paid game, and they just added on that free mode and they built it from there. It didn't just hit in what it is now. It hit
yeah,
in very bare bones, just like kind of a cartoon version of PUBG, and it was just, yeah, just put it out there and let people explore, and they built it up to what it is today. It didn't launch like this. So like for people to just be like, oh well, so that has to be on every device, everywhere, everybody has to like it day one. I'm like, just start. Just just start with a core audience and keep feeding them content. Word of mouth will grow and we go from there. Like what the hell does everything have to be either the cheapest it has to be for mass adoption and or it has to be like compromised across all these different places to be the one trick that's everywhere. I just it's so annoying. Like it's just
yeah,
so
yeah,
annoying. I'm like, just make games and they will build their audience if you provide the support and you build a quality game, the people will come and they will stay if you
100%.
continue to support it. Like don't just put out a game and say, "Yeah, we'll send you updates every few months. See you later. Thanks a lot. Buy our battle pass for some hats." And no, it's all about, I'm telling you, man, it's all about friggin' quality. And that's the thing. Like
Yep,
it's about quality, a game that shows support, quality, mechanics are there, not having a lot of kind of things that are expected missing.
yep.
And that's the thing. Like I
Uh,
just don't get the whole like it has to be day one everywhere. Everybody has to be happy day. Like that is a shot in the dark, man. That is
yeah, yeah.
tough
Not.
to do to meet those expectations.
Yeah, just like explaining that point a bit more, like if PlayStation done more like Morales games like Lost Legacy, I think that's something they totally should do. Like even the Valhalla DLC, phenomenal. Like
Yes, I played the hell out of
even
that.
even
Yeah,
if it's yeah, even if they like do these smaller types of games, I think it'll be such a good thing for like PlayStation, us the gamers. I mean, it's like a win-win situation. It costs less. That'd be perfect.
yeah. Like with Miles Morales, like I even put in my thumbnail Venom because we know that there may be that Venom game. I thought the same thing. Like you'll have a Venom game like the thing of Miles Morales. Like that is definitely and actually this is a thing where I know they say like Sony don't get yeah, they feel like Sony I think should get more credit for what they have done with DLC. I feel like that they
Yeah.
took what Microsoft initiated with the
Yeah.
360 with DLC, and I think Sony has knocked it out of the park with DLC for their first party games. And I don't think it gets the recognition. It does get the recognition. I misspoke. It does get the recognition because it moves, it sells. Like, and I'm talking going back to PlayStation 4, Lost Legacy,
Yeah, and
Frozen
it started from
Wilds,
Infamous First Light. That
Infamous
was
First Light, the
like
blood. What was the blood
yeah.
of? That was a PlayStation 3, right? There was the Dance of Blood or whatever like that. What was that thing?
That was from like Infamous Second Son. So
Second,
that was the expansion.
that's the
Yeah,
expansion. But
that was
like,
on PS4. Yeah.
right, Left Behind. Yeah, look at this. The Josh is listen. Lost Legacy, Left Behind, First Light, Spider-Man Miles Morales, which is not DLC by the way. But that kind of
Returnal
it
Ascension.
added to it. But yeah, those
Returnal
games,
Ascension. Yeah.
the
Yeah.
Horizon,
That had
like
expansion.
Burning Festival of Blood. Thank you. First Light, the Burning Shores. That was absolutely incredible DLC. And then what could they do with
Frozen
Valhalla?
Wilds. Yeah.
Valhalla,
Frozen Wilds.
Frozen Wilds.
The first.
What
Yeah.
else did they do with Ghost of Tsushima? That whole multiplayer and the whole that was DLC. That was free. Returnal, adding co-op, adding the tower to it. DLC free on that one. Like I think the thing is what Sony has done with their first party games and adding replayability to them after the fact with DLC and new content, not fixing stuff, not selling you a game that's missing A, C, and D and telling you we're going to give you that over the next 6 or 7 months. We're going to fix that. No, everything from A to Z is there. We're going to add more. Like God of War, when it shipped, when we played God of War Ragnarok, nobody was like, well, we're missing this. We only can play as Kratos. You can't play as anybody else. We got to wait. We heard the feedback. We took it on the chin. We'll edit later on. We're sorry. No, that game came out. It was complete. There was no qualms. Same thing goes to Tsushima. Nobody said, oh, it needs multiplayer. No. And they added it. Right? Same thing with Returnal. And that's
and it just extends the product's life cycle as well. More people talk about it. There's
yeah.
mind share. It probably boosts game sales. I mean, it's just like a win-win,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
And even the DLC for Spider-Man. That was those 3 segments of DLC.
Yeah.
Those were great. Like that was a whole
the
other
city that never sleeps. Yeah.
yeah, it was a whole other villain arc. Like it was a whole thing. And yeah, like I just feel that they've done such an impeccable job. Iki Island, yes, there it is in Legends. Iki Island, yes, I forgot that one too. I finished it though. But like they've done such a great job with adding DLC, whether they're expansions, whether they're new modes, whether they're new experiences, multiplayer. Twice they've added multiplayer to single player games. Returnal and Ghost of Tsushima. They've added multiplayer to them. Too bad they can't add multiplayer. They were going to try to do it for Last of Us. Oops. That too soon? We're 2024. Too soon? We missed that one. That was a hurt, man.
That was a gut punch.
That was.
Be honest, like I think just like a lot of people were looking forward to that. Like a lot of people, a lot of consumers.
I know.
Like even like my casual friends, they were when's the Last of Us like multiplayer coming? Like everyone was about that, and then you just cancel it.
I know.
That one's is still
And
raw.
and the fact too that the way they canceled it without the good news, like it was just the bad news. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Like it was just like, nah, dude, we're not having it. And I'm just like, oh man, like is okay, you're not doing it, but tell us what you are doing. So like soften the
yeah,
blow. Don't just say like we're not
yeah,
it's on hold. And
yep,
you know, I just feel that they I don't like not getting something, especially if they're leading people on for years. Like, oh, it's coming,
yeah,
and the fact that he went on that smuggling grapes with Jeff Keighley and came on and was like, oh, and I got
yep,
here's some developer art right here, and Jeff Keighley's like,
mm,
wow, I knew something was off then. I'm like, this is Neil Druckmann, man. This guy loves to show off so much. He's coming here with a piece of clip art. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, And I know it was really there to probably talk about the show, but like, I was like, oh, like, man, like, come on. And I just feel that, I just don't like you lead and then just say it's not happening. And if you say it's not happening, say why, because we're working on this and like,
yeah,
reveal
yep,
that didn't happen. And that's kind of
yep,
definitely was a gut punch, especially at the time that just showed up at the end of the year, and then kind of following off of that, then the Insomniac leak, which it was nice to see that there are games coming from that studio and stuff, even though they spoiled some of the surprises that I think would have been nice in announcements. But the way that was done was unfortunate. Like I don't think it was a great like course of news for them at the end there. That's why I really think you're right. Like they need some sort of like palate cleanse per se. Now we
yep,
need in the next month or so. Like we need a nice palate cleanse from Sony just to kind of like stick the flag back in the ground again, because we had a little bit of that, even though we had great game. I'm just saying like in the news cycle that was a little rough there to end the year on that
yep.
stuff. And
No, I totally agree. Like from the PlayStation Plus price increase and
yeah,
towards
and that
the leak.
showcase, I think, we had Spider-Man to keep the lights on. Spider-Man was incredible, Spider-Man 2, but like you're right, like from the showcase to those things,
Yeah,
like that
like
showcase didn't hit the way it we thought it would.
yeah.
Yeah,
Just I've been watching PlayStation's conferences for years now. Like I've lost count over like probably like 10 years plus. And for me, that was their worst showcase in like forever.
it was
It
unlike
was
them.
so bad.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly that. It wasn't like PlayStation. That's the thing. Like a PlayStation showcase is for the first party.
yeah,
There's no ifs on about something about that. And they just showed like obviously Concord, Fair Games, and I think Helldivers. That's it.
yeah. And the way they
And
showed them, that was my biggest criticism, was the fact that they showed a logo, or they showed like a
yeah,
CGI of it.
yeah,
Whereas you could get away with that with God of War Ragnarok. Like you could get away with that with
yeah,
Horizon. Like when there's a franchise and there's a sequel. But when it's a new IP like Concord or Fair Games,
yeah,
like you gotta you either start with some gameplay, because now we're talking about Xbox showcases, like that stuff, where like where the hell is friggin' Contraband? Like we saw like some
yeah,
logo of that thing, and I just thought that it
yeah,
was unlike Sony to kind of say, hey, here's a logo, and it's just like, and not having a showcase or some show like a month or two later to demonstrate gameplay of that. That's why I think they're due for something along those lines. And I think that naming it Showcase in Patient of Fire, I think that was another kind of thing. Like you
yeah.
call it Spider-Man Showcase. That's what they should have called it. The Spider-Man 2 Showcase.
Yeah.
They
Uh,
should have called that
um,
thing.
I mean, CES is around the corner next week,
Yes, he
so
says the 8th,
hopefully,
right? They got,
yeah.
yeah. So do you
That
think they're going to have anything? They usually don't, because it's more of like their TVs. So, their TVs, headphones, kind of like their electronics. Do you think there's going to be anything PlayStation related to that one? Do you think they talk about a Pro? Do you think they say anything about a Pro?
I think it's too early for a pro. Like
Ooh,
it's
Zuby says too
too early. Like you'd probably see the announcement sometime September.
Oh man,
For
Zuby says it's too
from the
early.
PS5.
Zuby doesn't have the insight that they're going to talk about something.
You're just gonna kill PlayStation 5 sales. Why would you want to do that?
That's right. You're right, and especially coming off of the sales. Like you don't want to announce it now and then have the whole year and it comes out in November. Because is that what you're thinking? The Pros are gonna probably drop November?
Yeah, yeah,
Holiday?
November holiday and then September announcement.
Oh. Yeah. Well, yeah, just like what they did with the Portal. Well, just like they did with the Portal, just like they did with the Slim. Like the Slim was just sort of like a, hey, yo, Slim's coming out, new version, which I couldn't believe. This is the thing that I thought was pretty crazy at the end of last year was the fact that they bundled Spider-Man 2 with the old version of the PlayStation 5, but then also bundled it with the new version of the PlayStation 5. Because I thought they would bundle it with the old one to kind of move them out of cycle and get the new ones in there. But the fact that they had a bundle with a Call of Duty as well with the new PlayStation 5 design was pretty interesting that they had a bundle with both of them.
Yeah, I think it's just
Just move 'em.
inventory they had and move them. That's it. That was all it was.
Xbox couldn't move. They dropped that thing to liquidation prices. My goodness, I thought that was, and then they got the nerve today to go back up to $500.
Just I'll be honest, like what Xbox is doing, like no one talks about this, or probably apart from me and you. It's just shocking. Like 3 years in, the price cuts they've done, the amount of sales is behind. It's selling worse than Xbox One.
I know.
That is shocking, Jez.
Dude, I cannot believe that they are not sirens. Like we're not hearing where is it? The silent like the sirens like this. A fact about like we want to talk sales and all the sales don't matter. Listen, these are scary non-sales for Xbox with 2 consoles. Like these are devastatingly low. And then to see, you're right, it's gonna be 3 years in, this thing being dropped to the $400, $350 with a gift card. Then $350 and a gift card, and then the friggin' tech guy comes out there, watches your kids, like they buys you lunch, like they were throwing everything at this thing, and then $250 finesse.
And Jez, the funny thing was the Xbox Series was 150 and the Xbox Series X was 350 for the same price of PS5. For the same price of one PS5.
I can't believe
that is just crazy.
I've never seen that kind of. That's the to put it in hindsight, the Xbox One I don't think was ever reduced that much in price. Even the Xbox One X was dropped to $300 when they were trying to get rid of it in the months before the S and the X launched, and that was at $500.
That should tell you how bad it is. And Jez is not one console; it's two. That's what makes it worse.
Yep, and it's trailing behind the Xbox One. And Phil said that they lost a generation with that one. And I know people say, well, it's not about the console. Dude, the thing is I have quotes from Phil saying that the console person is the primary person that buys the most, spends the most. That is your prime customer. And so, like, if you're not selling to your prime customer in the console, then, little Timmy on a cell phone and Fred on a PC are not going to carry your business. That's the thing. Like, those are the secondary people. Like, you don't understand. Like we were talking about how Sony is trying to grab other areas with the PC, with this stuff. That's your second line attack. Your first line of attack is with the prime customer. Like Apple, when they market their product, they're marketing to their prime person, the person that like lives and breathes Apple products. Then they go, okay, now we'll go get the moms and the dads and the grandmas and the cousins. That's second line. Microsoft and Xbox, they're screwing the pooch with their first line, their console, and they think that the secondary out there, the one who doesn't know what a Gears of War is, he's like, who? Is that a clock? No, Gears. No, he's not carrying your business. Fred on PC that plays Diablo, the guy on PC, right? Zuby, the guy that plays the friggin' Counter-Strike every day, and you just gave him Halo Infinite for free. He's not going to carry your business.
Yep, and it just goes back to that word you said, Jez, mindshare.
Mindshare.
And it's just, it's dwindling. the Xbox brand is
It's
is in
crazy,
tough.
dude. Like, and you're right. Like, nobody is bringing this up. They're just kind of trying to throw it under the rug and then talking about another
Yep.
console. It's like, how do we talk about another console when the thing that they're selling now, the Project Scarlet that you knew about 2 years before the PlayStation 5 was even announced, is now just getting liquidated for the holidays, and still they cannot make up an NPD. Hell, they didn't even win NPD the month Starfield, the biggest game ever, launched. Like, that didn't move consoles. So, and you say, well,
And you had a new console launch in that month, a new
yes,
SKU.
and you had the S as well.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
I just don't understand. Like, there's only so much that the second, and I know their strategy. Their strategy was to move, well, and because I remember Phil even said this with Bethesda game, with Starfield, is like, well, PC could carry, the offset of us not putting it on other platforms. And the thing is really, there's only so much that they could offset when, if you're not even putting interest to your main consumer, which is the console owner, the main person, that's when you say Xbox, I don't think PC and phone and all that stuff, that's what they want you to think. But everybody that talks about Xbox, that's a quote Xbox fan and goes to FanFacts, they are console owners primarily. All right.
100%.
A dude with they're primarily the console owner. All right. That's what the Xbox brand originated from, the OG. And that's kind of, you shifted some people away. But the thing is when you talk Xbox, you're talking about the console and the branding that you've done. Hell, you even have Sarah Bond appointed to Xbox. So it's still a thing. You may not want it to be a thing, but I don't know what her job is. But she is Xbox, and they should have her out there talking about that console, doing something with it. But the fact that and this is another thing, Zuby, too, when you're talking about sales, the fact that they had no games of note in 2022, and they're selling 25% less year over year in a year that they released Starfield, Forza. How do you do less? And it's not an inventory issue because they're liquidating these things. If Xboxes were hard to find, that price would be $600, $550. The fact that these things are $350 and $250 and $150, like, they're trying to move these out of here, retailers. And actually, did you see the article where GameStop was refusing to drop the price lower than what Microsoft was suggesting? Did you?
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
See.
For some reason, I think other stores had it for $350, and they said no, we're selling it at obviously Microsoft's reduced price, which was $400.
Yeah, exactly. I think where was Game Refuse? Damn, where
But
was
is
that?
is exactly what you just said, spot on. Like the last thing you said, like you had content this year,
They had
so
content. Yeah.
that proves your console is not selling.
There's something. Yeah. There's no interest in it. I don't know. Like, that's the thing. Like,
At this point, just I would just give the whole thing a rebrand, and I would just call it Microsoft Gaming. That's what
what
I
they
would do
probably want.
if I was in charge.
Yep. That's what they probably want. Like again, I thought the only way. Mr. Tennis says, "What article is that?" I saw it on. Somebody search Grinders. Look up there. It's GameStop. I'm trying to find it, but refuses to drop Xbox price. There was. I remember seeing it on Twitter. Oh my god, it was somewhere. If somebody could find it on that one, but you're right. Like, but I think Zuby. The one thing though to get out of, like, I think to get out of the rut, I think what Microsoft has to do is just start talking about new hardware. That's all they can do. That's all they've been doing to try to get out of this. All they keep doing is selling the same devices to the same people, and those people keep going less and less. And
Yeah.
I just I said, like, you cannot abandon, and that's why I even like started this whole thing, because I felt like they just abandoned their core audience, because it wouldn't be as bad. And if you remember, like previous generations, this whole kind of console thing back and forth between all the consoles, it kind of used to level itself out. You found it, Mr. Tennis? Can you put the link in there? I want to say it. I want to see that one. Redfall is $5 on GameStop. New? Holy geez. Oh man, Zuby's gonna hear it firsthand. He's gonna hear it firsthand. $5 new for Redfall. Oh my goodness.
Hold on.
Okay.
Holy Spirit.
Oh my
activate.
goodness.
Holy Spirit. Activate.
$5.
Holy Spirit.
Price of a
activate.
sandwich.
Activate.
You gotta go get Redfall. It's the prequel to Blade. Everybody, go get it. it's the prequel to Blade. Guaranteed. You beat Redfall, Blade is your secret ending. If they're gonna make that Redfall 2 is just renamed Blade. That's it. It's the prequel. Go figure it out. Waleed is now a game cat, specifically White Tiger with the 5. He goes VR2 first. 10 months have been excellent with AAA exclusives and great third-party support. Hoping more AAA reveals for 2024 and more communication. I agree with that, especially the second part. The more communication, I think, I didn't like those articles that dude said, like, oh, well, we put it out there, and it's just kind of, if you like it, they need to hone in on that stuff because that tech is great, and I want to see more AAA reveals. That's right for that. I think it'll be great on that one. I agree with you, Wally. Thank you for the super chat. $5. No, I'm impatient. You got to play it. It goes along with Blade. You got to play Redfall, the prequel to Blade. There it is.
You're my number one
But,
customer.
Hey, did he put the link in the chat? Let me see. Did he put the link? I want to see. He found it. Mr. Dennis, when you put a link in there, I want to, or put it in my DM or something like that. I want to see, because I saw that they reduced the price of that thing. And hey, you like Redfall, but man, I played Redfall. I played it right. You got stuck on the bench. The AI was atrocious. It was not super fun. But the thing is just, and Aaron, first off, dude, the mindshare game is all ponies talk about. The thing is, it's not ponies. How can you be investing in this brand continually, knowing it's like going into a ship that's gonna sink? Like, you're gonna put all your money and all your stuff into something where what's gonna happen to it? Like come on, we see why sequels don't get made. It's because the first game don't sell that well. We see why Sunset Overdrive 2 never got made. So it's because it didn't sell well. You could talk about mindshare all you want, but it's very powerful because it's a predictor of what the sequel will be. So if you're looking at these Xbox sales, how can you be like, oh man, they're gonna really get behind the next Xbox? Dude,
and
really?
just that's the thing. That's the thing. People are so misinformed. They're just it's all about emotion to them. There's no business sense to them. I've studied business in school and college. That's the thing, and the first thing that comes up is mindshare as well. When you're studying products, branding, brands, mindshare is so important. Why does Apple release a phone every year? It's mindshare. Why does PlayStation launch a console? It's all about mindshare. The games, the PlayStation Studios label attached to it. Now they're extending that PlayStation label to movies, TV shows. It's all about the brand awareness. And once you have that, you've got the consumer.
That's the thing. And you know what the thing is too, is that it's not even mindshare from us. It's mindshare of developers. See, that's the thing. The thing is that a developer is going to build where you say oh, all these games. The thing is that when you look at an install base of 50 million and you are trying to make a game, where are you going to put it first? Who are you going to focus as your lead platform for development and make sure the game runs the best? The 20 million install base or the 50 million? That's the thing. And now you're going to get games prioritized for yours. Baldur's Gate 3 example.
Yep.
Yep. Well, we can't deny 50 million. Whoa, that's an install base we got to address. Make sure that game runs well. We'll deprioritize the other one because that install base could wait. It's not as lucrative as the other one, especially with the model of that they've coached everybody to get games day one in a subscription service. Hell, they might not like a $70 game dropping on their store. Some will buy it, but they are kind of coached and believe that that's the way they should get their games, by subscribing. That's another thing that affects their mind share as well. And you look at it and you go, well, games should be everywhere. Well, Redfall is everywhere. It's great games. It's quality games. Games should not be compromised for the services that they're getting distributed on. You can't put out a game, oh, I'm sorry, it's not ready, but here you go. You're getting it in your subscription anyway. That's devastating to the game. Hence, Redfall. You think with the Game Pass model, they would have said, oh, guys, it's not going to have 60 frames at launch. You know, we'll have pop-in textures. We'll fix that later. All you see is, same thing with Starfield. These games were delayed a year. Come on. Like, that's the thing. The only thing they have is not mindshare. They got, new word for 2024, they got, I'm going to tell you right now, here's a new term, everybody. They don't have mindshare over at Xbox. They got themselves some Phil share. That's what you got. You don't have a console. You have Phil Ness. That's why they tout him out like the new Mickey Mouse. Oh, boy. Here he comes, Phil Spencer. Tell me everything is fine. Tuck me into bed. Give me my milk and cookies. It's okay. Sales don't matter. Oh, boy. Sales don't matter. Oh. It's about everybody. Oh. Phil, you're not even touch. It's about everybody. You're selling to nobody. What are you talking about? Phil Ness, Spencer. Phil share. That's what you got. Because that's all it is about. That's why when that dude goes, I have no clue what ass you're going to be crawling up. You're going to be crawling up Aaron Greenberg's ass? Major Nelson's gone. He booked it. Whose ass are you going to crawl up? I guess Sarah Bonds. I don't know. But you can't be linking yourselves to these executives. It's about the experience that you're paying for. You're not paying for Phil Spencer. You're paying for your console. You're paying for the games. And when your console is showing this, then that's the thing. Like, how this cannot be a warning sign, I don't get it. But it's concerning. Like, it is definitely concerning as to what the future of the console would be. Because looking at how poorly it's doing, when the Xbox One was considered poor, this is doing worse. Yep. Like you said, Zuby, 2 consoles at 2 different price points.
Yep.
Selling less. They launched 1. 2. And
just in Europe and Asia is practically dead. The consoles are dead. Like in France is like 93% from PlayStation to Xbox. Like, that's insane. Like, if France is like that, Germany is going to be like that. All the other European countries are going to be like that. Spain. Yeah.
So where do you think? So, getting back to the predictions, thank you, Michael. Yeah, we'll go into the prediction. We predicted that Redfall's gonna be under $5. Oh, damn! Friggin' goddamn magicians right here. Grind and Zuby Adamus. We predicted that Redfall's gonna be $5. Anyway, so talking about the predictions, like, wise, what do you think Xbox is going to do this year for their console? To try, especially, I said before, if Sony and Nintendo are releasing next better hardware and Xbox is not going to, if that's true, what do they need to do to stay in? Like, what do they do? Well, do you have a crazy prediction out there? Grinders, you in the chat, you too. What do they do? Seeing these holiday sales.
If you're doing worse than Xbox One, I think you just permanently reduce the price of the consoles.
Permanently, that's what you think?
Yeah, permanently. Yeah, you're gonna have to, because what else is there to do? Just like you've got like all these studios now behind you. You've got Game Pass. You've got like some goodwill with consumers. Honestly, that would be the last thing that you could do, is just permanently reduce the price point. And then obviously you've got the new 6nm Xbox refresh consoles coming.
Is that the discless X? You think that gets launched this year?
Yep.
or that
Yeah.
next year?
And
Because I think according to their
this year.
thing, this year. Okay, so the
This year, yeah.
discless X comes out this
Yep.
year, and yeah, but I don't think a discless X could do anything. But you think it comes out at a new price point? Maybe that's what it does. A discless X
Yeah.
coming out at 400
Yep. That's what I
or
would say.
3. It can't be 300. It could be to the S. So because you remember they went up in the S, so they went 250 with they went 350 with the S because the 1 terabyte one, which I saw that the week it came out, one of them behind a Best Buy counter. I'd never seen them. The black 1S, the Series S. I have never even saw any of those in the wild. The 350. Oh, maybe I saw one. I saw it at Best Buy. I think during the week at a sale, the Black Friday. I saw one. But so okay. So they introduce a new price point, a discless X, a new price point at $400. And
Yep.
there you go. And they're gonna try to do the so you think they're gonna go the budget route? Well then, Zuby, that's a good take. See, it's good because think about it. If then Sony comes out and says their Pro comes out and maybe $600 for the Pro, $500 for the PlayStation regular, $600 for the Pro. Now you got a Pro. You got a PlayStation at $600 and an Xbox sitting there at $400. I guess, but I still, we've seen them drop the price of this thing. It didn't really do anything, but maybe that's their move. That's their move. Is just they just kind of bottom out. Oy, that's such a sad way to go. It's like such a sad. That's not an honorable way to go out.
Yeah, I mean, just like
Oh man,
if you're selling worse than your worst console in your history, like where do you go from there?
I know. You only go down, right? How low can you go?
Yeah,
Like that's it. You just come up with a new baseline price point. And that's probably why maybe they dropped the prices of these things at the MSRP during the holidays, kind of see like, hey, will we get some movement? This holiday, if we kind of release next holiday and just have a new discless X, adorably discless or something, adorably digital brownies, right? And then, don't forget about Dollar Bill Phil. He'll pop his head up. And then a discless one at a new price point of $400 and kind of have that dichotomy come out where that's at $400. The PlayStation is going up in price. We're going down on price and kind of just see where that goes. But I don't see. And this is the other thing I go into the prediction wise. With hardware, you need software. And the thing is that they had the software and it still didn't move the hardware. Like what he said, like it's just, even if Starfield was 11 out of 10, we would not see console shares shift dramatically. And he says that he's convinced that people built their digital libraries and they're not going to move. That's where he said that when he took it on the chin. But I think to the consumer, we've seen that Starfield actually did move consoles. It went from 3 to 2. Starfield did, and it was number 1 in NPDs. So, like, it did have some sort of impact. You just need more consistency. You can't just do that once a year and say, yeah, we're good. But my issue is that I don't think they have anything right now releasing this year. I don't think they even have anything announced that has the level of hype of Starfield. Anything. Perfect Dark, Fable, Avowed, Hellblade 2. Like, I don't think any of those games have the hype level of Starfield that Starfield had for years. Like, do you agree? Do you think, like, do you see anything on their release list that has the power implications of Starfield?
I mean, it's just back to that point. The fanboys and they just latch on to the next game, saying like, this is going to be the next game. This is going to be in the next game. First it was Halo, then it was Starfield, and both points you saw like the NPD, like especially in North America, it just didn't move it. Like it didn't move the needle. It didn't beat PS5. Like it just didn't. So if those two big games didn't, I don't think any game that's coming is.
And that's the
It's
thing.
not going to move it.
It's not to say that those games, Avowed or Hellblade 2, will be bad. The fact is
Yeah.
I don't think that they have the power, the mind share. Oh, people don't want to hear it. The mind share implications that a Starfield had.
Yep.
Hellblade 2, it's gonna. I think Ninja Theory is gonna put out a quality game. Whether Hellblade 2 is like Hellblade 1 to the next level, I don't know. They have not shown enough for me to see that Hellblade 2 is gonna be bigger, better, like massive. Like I don't know. Like the combat still looked one-on-one, with the same kind of camera. Like I don't know. They have not shown Hellblade being like open world, like this big massive thing. If it's more of the same, that's fine by me. But that's not what people are expecting for this long development time for Hellblade 2, and having Ninja Theory funded by Microsoft money since 2018. You expect Hellblade 2, with all the years it's taken to make it, in addition to Microsoft money. Remember, they relocated them. They all gave them Windows 10 computers, and they're not an indie studio anymore. You would think Hellblade 2 is going to be like what, and you don't want to say this, but it's the truth. Look at how they took God of War to the next level. Look what they did to Horizon, taking the sequel to the next level. That's what I'm talking about. You take the game, the sequel to the next level. Gears 2, Halo 2, from Halo 1. You take the game to the next level. Is Hellblade 2 going to do that to Hellblade 1? Do we go it to the next level? We haven't seen it yet. I hope. That'll be great. That should be expected because it took a long time. And it had Microsoft money since 2018. This wasn't like on the shelf and they just did it. We will see. But those should be some expectations for Hellblade 2. Bigger, their version of God of War, right? Ooh, we don't want to say that. Maybe we won't do that. But they took vacation pictures for 2 years. That too. Microsoft paid for their vacation. So, hey. And it took so long. But again, even with that, Hellblade is not at the hell level of hype of Starfield. Like, Starfield should have been that game changer. Like, that's the thing. So, this year, is it I don't know. So, like, with new consoles coming, a slim, you're right, Zuby, I think you hit a nail on the head. I think they fight with low prices. Dollar Bill Phil comes back. I think they go budget, man. Because that's the only way they can fight back.
Literally, you've got probably the cheapest subscription service out there.
Yeah.
You've got
They go bottom dollar.
multiple consoles, multiple price points.
Zoobs, yeah,
it's
you're
the only
right,
thing
man.
you can do.
You're right. They just go back to Dollar Bill Phil. He comes back. He puts on his $1 million dollar bill vest on. Yeah,
I'm quite lucky, Jez. I've done business studies. I've worked in retail. So you kind of obviously pick up things along the way, and it's just writings on the wall, to be honest, for me.
Yeah, I think because and you know what, it makes sense because because I'm sure Nintendo's not going to be cheap with their Switch too, right? Right, they're not going to come out and be like, oh yeah, $250. No, they're probably going to be like, guys, a $400 Switch probably. People are going to go against Switch 2 versus Steam Deck, face off because I think Switch is. I don't know. Predictions for Nintendo. We had Nintendo predictions. Yeah, what do you think the Switch will come out as?
I think again, yeah, you're $399 right. Maybe the OLED model is more, so maybe it could be.
Or does a base come? So, Grinder, what do you think in the chat? What is the price of the Switch, Super Switch? What do you think the price of the Switch 2 was going to be? I'm putting it out there. I think it's $399.
Yeah, I believe the same price.
Yeah. So you look at a Switch 2 coming out at $399, a PlayStation possibly Pro coming out at $599.
Whatever your name is, get ready for the big surprise.
Welcome, Omid. Welcome to the Grindhouse. Thank you for the subscription. Yes, hit that subscription button. Hit that like button, man. They would have this intense predictions and just of the year because there's not a lot of news, man. We're just talking prediction for 2024. Oh man, Mr. Tennis says $299. Diablo Dogman says $499 for a Switch. Holy crap! Base 3. There you go. 400. BU says 500. Billy says 350 to 399. Chris Durant says $499. Do you think they sell the
I
base
mean,
separately? Oh, ooh.
yeah, maybe the LCD model will be like 400 and the OLED 500.
Oh.
That could be a high
Or they sell the
possibility.
base separately. Imagine they do that. They sell the price for $399 and the base is like $75 or $100.
Mm,
I think Nintendo's gonna pull that. I think
yeah, definitely.
they're gonna pull where they'll sell that base separately. So like anyway, so like
Mm,
we'll get is that the Switch will do that. Now, what game does Nintendo have lined up? Listen, I'm gonna do a prediction out here. If they line up Metroid with the Switch 2, lights out, everybody. It's over. I don't know who's. Just stay away. That is like Nintendo's version of GTA. Metroid comes out now. I don't know. Like they were working on the Metroid, right?
yep.
They did their Zelda. They did their Mario game. They're not gonna launch with no goddamn Kirby game. Who's next? Samus. Level up. They line up a Metroid game with the Switch 2. Man, oh man. They could price that thing at $1,000. People won't be crying, taking off their shirts. Oh man, Josh says Mario Odyssey 2. Oh. That's something you could do. Metroid Prime 4, man. Oh, that's my prediction. I think they're lining up a Metroid with the Switch 2. Well, Afropunk says Metroid games don't sell well. I don't. But again, like who else? What big franchise would Nintendo do? Like, yeah, Mario Odyssey 2, but like we just had a Mario game. I don't know if they're gonna flex a Mario Odyssey 2. Yeah, it's 3D. Kirby, get that. Kirby. Man, that'd be some horseshit. They launch some Kirby. Not the Princess Peach game. Yeah, man. I'm going. I'm excited. I'll go Metroid. I'm going Metroid. I say if they line up a Metroid with a Switch 2 launch, oh baby, get ready. They're going to be taking off their shirts and crying in the Nintendo headquarters. Donkey Kong. I love my Donkey Kong. Maybe Donkey Kong. I don't know. Pokemon.
Yeah, I think they'll just remaster Zelda and sell it again.
Oh man. Zuby goes with the prediction. Oh man. Dead Zuby with the downer prediction. He says just give us the remaster of Zelda. He thinks Nintendo's gonna play cheap. Oh man. And you might be right. You may be right. I could see Nintendo. Yep, John Dexter agrees with you. He says Zelda Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom remasters. Oh, I'm not slandering Kirby. I do like Kirby, but that don't have console mover potential. Not like a Metroid. And I don't think a Mario Kart or Smash, guys. I don't think so. Did they just do a new Splatoon? I'm telling you, man. I'm waiting for the Splatoon guy that shoots the white cream. Oh, damn. I don't think. Do they have one? I think they do have one in the new game. The Splooge tune. Oh, damn. But anyway. I don't know. Smash Brothers? Nah. Dude, if they do a Smash Brothers. My man Joseph. My prediction for Nintendo's the same thing. Okay, so Zuby's going with predictions for Nintendo. He says that they do a remaster of Zelda. I say line up Metroid. And Zuby's going to probably be the right one because that's kind of a Nintendo thing. Just give us remasters of that. So
I think it would probably have like upgraded visuals and all
frame rate,
much
60
more
frames.
powerful.
Oh man, imagine that.
Yeah.
You know what? Believe it or not, 60 frames. Tears of the Kingdom. Yeah, that'll be enough for a lot of people. Oh, F-Zero. That F-Zero. That I love that online F-Zero, dude. That was awesome. But yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, and that's another thing. Into the whole predictions, jumping back to Xbox thing. Like and we said that before, and I think Zuby pointed that out as well in his tweet. That with PlayStation, as much as we say we want a roadmap for what they're working on, which we're excited about. Again, it doesn't take away that Sony's doing a poor job, but the fact that they just are holding on to a lot of stuff. The thing is that they do have some, that we have games releasing in the next few months that we know we're going to play. Xbox doesn't have announced dates. So that's why maybe a developer direct already at the end of January, they drop some release dates, and hopefully those release dates are in the first quarter, because if you remember, the only thing they did last year was they dropped their one game there in January, and there all that other stuff, Forza, Redfall, those things were out, and then Starfield was like a showcase later on. So, and that was showcased in June for release in September. I like I said in my show last week, so for this year predictions, they don't have release dates. You're right. That's why I saw a lot of people was like, go buy an Xbox. It's like, but what are you going to play in the next 5 months? I don't like what. You can't deny that Sony did, whether their first party, second party, their exclusives, they have set up a cadence. And I've always said that that's what Sony does really well. Like, they let you know what you're going to be playing. They hype up what you're going to be playing in the next few months exclusively or whatever on their platform. And that's something that Microsoft should be doing. They should do that because they have a subscription service like Game Pass that requires such a roadmap. The Netflix, all those, like Zuby, all those subscription services do it. They say what shows are coming out in the next few months so you know to keep your subscription, right?
Yeah, Netflix does that all the time.
Yeah, I saw that. Like all the movies that are coming out in the next few months. So that's Microsoft needs to adapt that, because they of all people need to be saying, hey, next month you got these 2 games. Next month you got this game. This week you got this game. And they kind of don't do that as far out as they should. And Sony does. Sony kind of lays the map. It's like, okay, you'd be doing Helldivers. You got, the remaster to kind of fill in the space for $10. You got Helldivers. You got Final Fantasy, which I think, too. And I just think that the internet's a little quiet now. I know it's been the holidays, but I think Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is going to be absolutely incredible. Like, the first one was absolutely amazing. I got to finish the DLC of it, but that game is incredible. Like, that is a Final Fantasy VII nostalgia, and it is incredible. It's the wish that everybody wants as a Final Fantasy fan.
Yeah, it's going to shift a lot of PlayStation 5s alongside with it.
Yeah. And now they selling the bundle together. Like, they selling them. Yeah, they're selling part 1 and part 2, right? They'll sell part
and
1,
you've
part
got
2.
Rise of the Ronin
Rise
as
of
well.
the Ronin comes out, yeah. Yeah, I wasn't too impressed graphically with that one, but that definitely looks like a Ghost of Tsushima Souls game.
Yep.
And Helldivers too. Helldivers looks cool. Like, I never played the first one, but Helldivers looks damn cool. It looks like a really good looking what are those games? The Earth Defense Force type, like fighting big bugs and scale. I like that. That looks pretty awesome. But Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, I think, people, I'm not saying people are sleeping on that at all, but I think that is going to blow the roof off of people. But people don't realize how huge that game is going to be. So that game is going to be insane. I think people realize it. Maybe that's what I'm not talking about, but I think that's going to be huge. It looks incredible, and then they expanded it, and it's the outside of the city. So I don't know, like,
and that's Square Enix best studio who's working on it. So
yeah, so I think that is definitely a big game too, and that's the saying. Like, you got a PlayStation for the holidays. You got, not only are you playing Spider-Man right now, but my son, was funny. My son showed me a video of a kid that had, what was it? He had oh my god, he had a choice of like 2 different things. Oh, I forgot what it was. It was like a PlayStation 5 with Spider-Man, and there was something else. I think it wasn't a Quest. It was something else. It was like I forgot what it was. It was something else. But the funniest thing is that he picks the Spider-Man. The lady in the store goes, okay, well, which one do you want for this kind? And he picks the PlayStation with the Spider-Man, and he's like, I already have a PS5, but I just wanted to get Spider-Man. I was laughing. I was like, the hell? I'm like, that's the power of the Spider-Man, And I think, not only are you playing that, but then you got the lineup here. So, just to the final question, you have like, who will deliver this year? So I think we feel that, PlayStation, I think so. We got the Pro predicted. Now, oh, this is a question. Do you think what are they gonna leverage the Pro with? If it's gonna be Happy New Year, Weezer. Thank you, man. Hit that like button, everybody on the way out. Weezer, hit the like button. I got you. But yeah, like, what do you think they're gonna launch a game with the Pro? We're talking about Nintendo launching a game. Do you think they'll launch a game?
They'll probably like market something alongside with
'Cause we
the
don't know, yeah.
PS5 Pro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because we don't know a second half or even first half Sony. Like what do you have any anticipation of what games that they may announce later this year? Like I don't know. Do you have anything? Do you think? Like, what do you think it may be ready from their like studio wise that may come out this year? Well, I know we got Fair Games and Concord, right? They said that's this year, but I don't know.
Yeah.
What about that holiday stuff? Because it seems to like push something in October or September wise.
I think probably you'll get some like Spider-Man DLC, 100%.
Spider-Man DLC,
Yeah.
like an expansion.
Yeah.
So
Probably.
that's still
It
Insomniac.
might be.
Where is everybody else? Where is everybody
Yeah.
else? Like it's
Yeah. It's a tough one, to be honest.
it's tough. That's why we don't know. Like, are they gonna? Will they do DLC, a Venom expansion? Will they do? I don't think Concord Fair Games do that. Josh says Blue Point, Bloodborne 2. Oof, that would be a lot for a lot of people, man. I'm not a super huge fan of Bloodborne, but I know what that means to a lot of people.
Yeah, I don't think Blue Point's project is original IP. It's not.
It's a new IP, but we need
it's
more.
a new
We
IP.
need, yeah. All right. Well, yeah. That's the big question mark. So, like, are they if they are gonna be leveraging? Because, like I said before, like Wolverine, I don't know. I think it's too early for Wolverine. I think they start marketing at the end of the year, but I don't think Wolverine's releasing this year. Venom is 2025. Oh, so Nelson Gaming Culture thinks that they're just gonna play second party this year. I don't know, man. Death Stranding 2, Silent Hill 2. Yeah, where are those games? I heard that
I do think there'll be DLC for Spider-Man this year.
Corey Balrog's game. Oh, where is everybody? I don't know. This is like, I don't know, man. That's a question mark. So like, I think we got the first quarter here, and that's why we need a kind of a show from them to know release dates, to what their studios are working on, if they're going to anticipate anything for the rest of this year, and if they're gonna to do and it's not that they've done it before, right? They did it with God of War, right? So they announced God of War, but they announced it was coming out the same year that it was coming out, right? Didn't they do that? Or no? No, maybe I was wrong.
No.
They announced it at the one show saying it's coming out next year, but then they didn't talk about it until like later.
Because it got delayed.
Yeah, it got delayed. Okay. Yeah. So that's why I said we got to hear, like what Zuby said, we got to hear from Sony kind of early. We got to hear in the first quarter. I think when Jim Ryan's leaving for Hell's Kitchen, there needs to be some sort of hey, expect this coming out later this year. Here's this game, what we're doing for the year, especially if they plan on releasing a Pro around the holiday time to kind of line up some games with that. So we will see. So that's a question mark. So Sony's first few months look good. Pro later on, but again, beyond that, we just have some names. Nintendo, rumors about the Switch. Zuby, do you think Nintendo is going to deliver the Switch in the spring like the original one, or they're going to go holiday as well?
I had someone tell me that it's coming. Well, it's going to get announced this month and released in March, but I don't think that will happen this year. I think they'll launch in like September, October time.
Okay. Because remember, they released that Switch in March. Yeah, I remember that. In March, they did that.
Yeah, March. But I heard there's an event, a Nintendo event in January.
Okay, well,
I don't.
keep your ears peeled
I
for that
don't
one,
think
Grinders. Nintendo event, possibly in January for an announcement of that Switch. Oh man, wow. Oh my god, you imagine when does Final Fantasy come out? Is that February? End of February, right? Final Fantasy
Yep,
Rebirth
end
end
of
of
February.
February. And then what does Sony have in March? Is there a big game in March except for
Uh,
baseball? I know
R-
baseball's in
R-
April.
Rise of the Ronin.
Rise of the Ronin in March. Okay. Wow, man, if Nintendo drops a Switch 2 in March, oh goodness. That is crazy. But go to the third with the $2. He goes Ace Combat 8, hopefully a PlayStation 5 exclusive. Oh man. Ace Combat. Yeah, Ace Combat is wild. And in VR. Put the VR in the Vergoto, put the VR in there. February 29th, Josh says that one. And then for Xbox, I think they may have a developer direct probably here that we'll talk about maybe the Avowed. I think here, for their releases, again, we don't know, but we know of their games that they're probably lined up for this year. I think Avowed is going to be kind of their second quarter game, like their May game is going to be Avowed, and I think Hellblade does October. I think that's set for I think that Hellblade 2 should be October. Though I think it's kind of like a horror game, put it it's that kind of creepy game. That would be a good kind of September October game, fall game. So that's what I'm thinking their kind of thing is. And maybe Avowed comes out like in that Hellblade, in that what is it, Redfall window, like around the it's the second quarter or summer one for Avowed. But again, Avowed didn't look it looked like a budget Oblivion. It did not look super well, and I know Obsidian makes
You're
good
my
games,
number one customer.
but it didn't. It wasn't very graphically appealing, and it looked kind of like a fan version of Oblivion. So I don't know. And if they don't have and that's what I said, if they don't have a console, Zuby made a great point, for who will deliver this year. I think it's up in the air, but I think definitely Nintendo and Sony, we're representing with the games they currently have at the library, but also with kind of the lineup we have early on. We need to see what's up for Sony for the second year. So confidently, will they deliver? Who knows? I really don't want them to, Zuby, I'm telling you right now, I really don't want them to drop a PlayStation 5 Pro and go play all your old games better. I don't,
Yeah.
Zuby,
No, I
hear that.
agree. Yeah. I mean, the closest game that will probably release from PlayStation Studios is probably Death Stranding 2.
Death Stranding 2, yeah. Because I really don't want them to say, hey, we're a little sparse this year, and play all your old games better. I'm like, no, man, no.
No.
You got too many studios, you got too much quality working on there. You should have something nice coming around there. That's my expectation. I really don't want to hear play Horizon better. That's nice perk, but that's not a reason why I'm want to run out and go buy it. So hopefully they have something there. So will they deliver on that? Who knows? Big question mark. But it's a good start to the year. That's right, Mass Produce. It's a good start. And if Nintendo's going to flex that Switch 2 in the first half of the year, we got a good first half of the year. Xbox, if that developer direct hits, we'll see. Maybe they get into the whole thing of stealth dropping games in January and have a small game stealth drop in January. That was a surprise last year. But, I think we're in a good spot. Xbox, Zuby made a great point. They're going to go back to dollar bill fill. I think they go the other way, dropping the price of the Xbox as the year goes on and kind of countering a new Switch and a new PlayStation higher price points later on in the year with a budget low-end Xbox price point. Even though that really didn't help them with the S, maybe dropping the X down will kind of carry them because it did sell, but it just didn't sell at the level of a PlayStation. I think just to wrap up the end of the year, where was this thing? Where was that thing here? Yeah, I saw these. I don't know how accurate these are. These are from Hunter. Zuby, I don't know if you posted any. I'm sorry if I missed it, but these are the monthly hardware sales for December across the globe. So a budgeted Xbox, kind of 3-1, almost 4-1 globally.
Yeah, it's not a good sight for Xbox.
Nah, and even in the U.S. and Canada and Mexico, which Mexico, the South America carries Xbox really a lot. And, this is how they ended out December. They got almost just about half in their own territory. Europe, like you said, Zuby, like Europe is it's 17K, 1700K for 1,700K versus 245,000. Like, it is crazy.
Just the console is dead in Europe.
It's dead in Europe.
That's just
And
yeah,
in
it's
Japan,
dead.
it's never was anything. US was, and
Yeah.
Canada was the only thing carrying it, and even there, they're getting outsold, 2-1. Yeah, ugh. Like, so, yeah, like, and this is what low price points across. Even though they and they remember they increased the price in Brazil, and Phil went down there and took it on the chin and said, "I can't do anything about it." So if you remember that interview from Phil Ness, it continued when he went down to Brazil and said, "Yep, that's not on me. There's nothing I can do about it. I appreciate you. I hear you. Anyway, I'm going back." But yeah, this is their December. So how do they compete now? This is Sony with a PS5 in stock. You drop another one, that Pro comes out there. That's just going to increase. Now, it's not going to sell. I think we could all agree it's not going to sell at the rate of a PS5, but it's just another PlayStation sale, which is just going to add to this.
Yep.
So I don't know, man. But you're right, Zuby. They may just drop the price permanently on that one, but they just increased the price back to $500 in January. So it's going to be an interesting year. Like, it's exciting. I think, one of the things, too, with 2024 is that I don't think we know a lot. We have rumors, we have ideas, but all we know is a couple of months from now, and that's about it. Like, I don't think we have a really big roadmap for this year. Like, I think a lot of the stuff has, even the stuff that was delayed to this year, like Stalker 2 and even Stellar Blade, where they show the model. Oh, my goodness. The model that they took for Stellar Blade. Go look at that on the internet. It's wildness. The thing is that we don't even have, like, months or seasons for a lot of these games. And we just have 2024. Even a lot of the games are announced at Jeff Keighley's The Smuggling Grapes Game Awards. There weren't a lot of dates, like, coming out this date. So there's a lot of stuff we don't know about 2024, which makes it exciting and frustrating at the same time.
Yep.
So, but I think, that, hey, I think, that's a close to predictions. Again, there wasn't tons of news. Stella Yams, that's right. Wasn't tons of news, but, a lot of predictions, I'm sure, as we get into the month, maybe they come clearer as we move on. But, Zuby, I know it's super late where you are. I want to thank you so much for all your time. You stayed for the whole show. I'm glad. Frogs, I don't know where he is. I got to talk to him. We'll get his predictions on the next show. But, Zuby, tell him what your ad is over on Twitter or X, whatever the hell they call that thing over there, and any parting messages, definitely.
Yeah, no, just it's an honor to talk to you, to be honest. Like, I watch your podcast like all the time. I appreciate all the shout outs, honestly. Thank you so much. And yeah, I'm a big fan of yours. So
I'm a big fan of yours, Zuby. You put in a lot of work with those things, and it's a good, I feel like there's a lot of crap on the internet, especially with Twitter and stuff like that. And, just putting it in the perspective that you do and the graphics, you put a lot of work into that. And I appreciate it. And I appreciate your insight. And it's an honor to talk to you, man. Thank you so much for coming on the show. I've been trying to get you on, and it's a great start to a new year here in the Grindhouse, having Zuby on here for the first show of the year and staying to cutting the midnight oil with the grinders here and giving your insight and predictions. And you're welcome back here anytime, and go follow Zuby if you have not already on Twitter. But I appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
And hit that like
Thank you
button
so much,
for
guys.
Zuby. Hit the like button for the Grindhouse.
Yep.
Subscribe for the Grindhouse. Get those good subscribers up. Let's get the goal of 3,000 subscribers. Hopefully we'll get there. We're just about 500. We need 500 more, like 470 or something like that. And join if you like to, but definitely we're going to goal of 3,000 to the Grindhouse for more amazing stuff as we get there. But I want to thank you again, everybody. Happy New Year. Hopefully, everybody who's at work already or going to work, your week is short, and we'll be back here at the Gaming Grindhouse. I'll have more videos coming out for the rest of the week. And definitely I'll be doing more shorts, so clips of from the show and things like that. So hopefully that drives more engagement with everybody. and enjoy. And thank you again, everybody. I appreciate all the support. And Happy New Year. And thank you again, Zuby. And to send us out, hit us with the Game Pass song, because this one is going to be legendary. No matter what year you're in, you're never going to not hear this song. Here it is, Grinders. Thank you. I appreciate it, man.
12 minutes and Hades, and they're all on Game Pass. Somerville, a Plague Tale Requiem. What to play first and what to play last. Star Ratchet 2, Ground, Shroom, 2. 'Cause they're all on Game Pass. Among Us, The Ascent, and more.
Phil Spencer! Phil Spencer! Phil Spencer, baby, let's go! Yes! Yes! Yes!
Enough from me.